Welcome to our USD 239 update show. I'm Superintendent Chris Vignery. Today I have with me our junior senior high vocal director, Mrs. Sara Hocking, and our 5th and 6th grade junior senior high band director, Mr. Dennis Brooks. Today I want to bring both of them here with us so they can share a little bit about their upcoming events and share what they do in their classrooms and just a little bit about our music department. First off, I'm going to start with Mr. Brooks, and just like to know, first off, you know, this is your first year at Minneapolis, and so tell the audience what you've been doing prior to Minneapolis.
Actually, right before I came here, I taught 4 years at Clay Center. I did instrumental music, and I also did a sound production class. Prior to that, I was at Council Grove, where I did 5 through 12 instrumental and high school choir. And then I was at K-State for a couple of years, did my graduate work, earned my master's, and I actually started my job at Clifton Clyde, which seems like a long, long time ago.
Well, thank you. For people that might not know a whole lot about band, tell us why band is important for students.
Well, actually, learning to play an instrument develops like mental, physical, and social skills that can be used pretty much for the rest of your life. I've had the opportunity over the years to play in numerous community groups, and not only am I sitting next to high school age students, but I'm also sitting next to people that are like in their 80s and 90s. It's just a skill that you can do forever. It's something, and you know, the most important thing is it can be fun and very rewarding.
All right, thank you. If I'm going to start band, and you know, usually it's 5th grade, how do you let kids choose their instruments?
Actually, this year at the very beginning of the year, I met with all the classes. I had them come in. I demonstrated all the instruments that we start in beginning band. Then I would have them come in small groups and have them try out like different mouthpieces, do different rhythmic exercises to kind of get an idea of what they might succeed on. And then I'd give a basic recommendation. But as I tell parents, the most important thing is a student has to want to play that instrument. Because if a student doesn't want to play that particular instrument, then they're not going to be as likely to practice, and they're not going to be as likely to continue and succeed.
Okay. And so they've chosen their instrument, and where does practice, how does that play a role in learning an instrument?
Well, with anything, if you're trying to develop skills or get better, you have to put individual time and effort in outside the school day. It's very hard to develop individual skills when you're surrounded by 20 or 30 other students. It's really important to get in kind of an isolated area and work on the skills that you need to develop as an individual student.
So practicing outside of the classroom is extremely important. But what is something here that you'd like to accomplish while you're here, or maybe get something started that's not going on here in our band program?
Actually, you know, I want to continue what Mr. Ball started. There's some amazing musicians here in the Minneapolis School District, and I've really been blessed coming in and working with these students. I think one of my goals is to increase the size of the high school band. And maybe through that, eventually develop a little bit more in the way of marching skills. Also, I think it'd be kind of fun to try to get small groups out into the community, do some more community outreach, whether that's playing at some of the retirement homes or such. Also, jazz is kind of one of my things, and it'd be kind of cool to have a jazz band, though I don't know how that would work scheduling-wise.
So as far as band as a future, band as a career for students, what can students maybe pursue outside of education with band instrument?
Well, with band or music in general, there's a lot of opportunities to perform professionally. One of the more readily accessible things that you can do, military. Each military branch has their own service bands and in performing groups. Also, even if you're not doing it on a full-time basis, National Guard groups I've got a couple of friends that that perform in the Kansas National Guard Band. Some of the local things that you can do, that just part-time things, playing for your local churches, playing for weddings. When I was in high school, I got hired to play for weddings, and also other opportunities would be playing in community groups. I was able to play in different community bands, even from high school, college, and on up. I continue to play in those groups. So.
All right. Well, what upcoming events do we have here going on at our junior high and our high school?
Well, we have our high school winter concert coming up on Thursday, December 14th at 7 o'clock. And then we have our junior high winter concerts on Monday, December 18th. Okay.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add? Or?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Brooks. And now I'll ask Mrs. Hocking some questions. She's excited for these questions. So, you've been here at Minneapolis for a while now. How many years has it been?
This is my 10th year.
10th year, and you started here?
Yeah, first job.
First job.
Teaching job, yes.
So explain to me, same thing about, I talked about how band is important. Why is vocal important for our students?
Well, when I thought about this question, I answered it more on not necessarily vocal, but music. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love for everyone to be a part of choir, but music in general, it can offer a way to feel, a way to relate, a way to express, and explore other areas that other subjects maybe can't give you. It's a way to work together towards a common goal, a way to appreciate everyone's role to making the group successful. It's a discipline, an art, a skill you cannot accomplish on your own. And most importantly, long after your physical abilities leave you, if you're big into sports or something, you always have music through hopefully the rest of your life. So, yeah.
That's good. We know that you have a successful vocal program here and a show choir. Both programs take a lot of work, and I'm not just saying that because when you see vocal concerts with league concerts, it seems that, and I'll brag a little bit, her program seems to be always the best program up there in our league. And the beauty is we just got an email from a parent who said the same thing the other day, how our program just stood out amongst the other league schools. What do you look for when kids decide to sign up for your show choir?
Yeah, well, in show choir, I mean, it goes without saying you need to be able to match pitch. That'd be helpful if you can sing, at least match the pitches. We can teach you the rest of the things. And we do dance, but dancing is optional. Sometimes mid-year we question whether that should be in one of the beginning things. But no, we really focus on the vocals and the vocal part of it. And, the dance comes secondary. And sometimes it's just like anything. When you're new at it, it just takes you a while to learn how to put it all together and get comfortable singing your part and dancing. But, as far as the music goes, being able to match pitch and having some sort of rhythm is good. And then I love those outgoing people. And usually you don't have to search for those people. Yeah. They're the ones involved in everything. And those seem to be the type of people that go out for New Image, the ones that are in sports, that have jobs, that are involved in their church and volunteer. And that's the greatest thing about those kids. It's just a good bunch of kids.
And one thing with New Image, once the kids are in, there's some fundraising that goes on. There's some outside performances that go on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have a few things that are carried over from year to year, and I can set the calendar. Like, this is contest day, this is our Carols and Cocoa day, this is dinner theater. But then a lot of what we do comes, mid-fall, and this all throughout the year when businesses or people in charge of community groups will call in and say, hey, can you come sing for this? Can you come be our entertainment this day? And so then we just have to always check with the kids and say, hey, are you available this day? Who's in forensics? Who's wrestling that day? And once we get an accurate count of who's available, then we say yes to the event, or no, we can't do that one this time. But events like that always pop up, and that's okay. I mean, some we can do and some we can't. We just try to get as many as we can. And really, those type of events end up serving as our fundraisers. So we sell poinsettias at Christmas time. But besides that, most of the events we do what we do, which is singing, and that's how we raise our money. So.
Sure. And you mentioned carols and cocoa. Typically you have that on a Sunday, but this year you've moved that to Wednesday, December 13th, I believe. Downtown. What location downtown?
We're going to do it at the Blue Store from about 11:30 to 1. And we're hoping just to draw in a brand new group of people and maybe some community folk that can't always make it up on a Sunday, or maybe someone's on their lunch break and can run down. And we're just offering the same that we usually do with the soups and tons of yummy cookies and cocoa. And we're just going to repeat our program. We're singing 5-6 songs, and we'll sing them, and then we'll have some soloists. And then if you need to leave, you just get up and leave and come in when you want. And so it'll just kind of be on a wheel, just keeping going. So.
All right. So outside of teaching, what careers could kids look for with their vocal?
Well, I have a list of them. I have a new class this year, which I think is coming up, but we did a whole unit on careers in music, and so we went through a lot of them. And so one that's very common you hear about is music therapy. You could be an accompanist, a music producer, you could compose, a music critic, always can be a performer, a studio musician, a freelance composer or choreographer. I have some of those that I hire out for New Image. Church musician, you can be in music tech, the recording industry, obviously, sound engineer, video games. That seems to be a big pull, too. A lot of kids are very interested in the music that goes in with the video games. Also, the music stores, like Tom's or in Concordia, Symphony in Wichita. Instrument repair, music business, concert manager, tour manager, artist manager. There's a few.
Yeah. There's quite a few. More than I would have guessed. It's good to know. How about any new plans for our vocal department?
Well, I think I said this year I am teaching a new class to junior high. It was music exploration, and that's been new for me, new prep, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go or if the kids would really be into it, and they've all, not all, some of them do want to take their next elective, but most of them have asked if they could do it all year long. So it's ended up being a pretty fun class, and we have just went up all different paths of music. We've created the programs that you get when you come to our concerts. We've looked at careers in music. We've done a unit in rock and roll. Currently, we're looking at movies and music, like how music affects the films that we watch every day. They've shared their opinions about favorite songs and artists. We've explored different careers. I think I said that. And yeah, it's just been a really good year for junior high. So I guess that's something different in junior high. And in high school, well, we got new uniforms this year for concert choir. So a lot of things happened this year, I guess, so far.
Good. So how about some upcoming events? We've talked about Carols and Cocos, and you have a Christmas concert coming up? Yeah,
so Carols and Cocoa is only Wednesday, December 13th, not the Sunday, the 10th, so just the 13th, 11:30 to 1. The high school concert is Thursday, the 14th, and the 16th, New Image will be singing at the Christmas event in Delphus. And then the 18th is the junior high concert. And that'll round off our year.
All right. Yeah. Anything else?
I think I've talked a lot.
You did good. They both did good. I appreciate you both coming on here. And once again, please look at the school calendar for the upcoming Christmas events that are about ready to happen with our band and our vocal. And thank you for tuning in to our USD 239 update.